Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, look at that thing. I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and with me is our other host,
Chris Mack. What's up?
And we are working our way through Sex and the City, which Chris has never seen. Chris, have you been able to avoid the spoilers from this past week? As of recording, I know this is going to air later.
I'm not going to say the spoiler, but I was informed of it. And,
no!
But here's the thing, not even mad. Very happy about it. I was, because I did catch a glimpse of some information about it. Like
it's way hard to avoid.
No one told, Here's the thing. I saw a couple of things, or I like scroll past things real fast on like Facebook. There's some people talking about it, and then I saw like an article saying like you know, everybody was shocked with like the killing off of an important character. And I was just like, oh man, they killed Samantha. That's how they gonna do her because they didn't recast her. But then I found out somebody else, and it made me very happy. I love that information. I don't even care that it was spoiler. I wish I could have been there to see who was there, to see this person die.
I mean, I think we can say it at this point because
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say it because there might be somebody else that's following along the journey with me.
Okay, fair enough.
And ain't so I don't want to be the guy that spoils it from them. They're probably gonna get it spoiled in some other way, especially if they have social media. But I don't want to be the one. Like we should be the ones to spoil it.
But true.
I was very happy to hear the news.
That's good.
Especially after this second episode. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I will say real quickly though, my mom hadn't seen it, but she read it and then she was like, well, was it funny? Like a certain other thing? And I went, actually, no, it was in the moment, it was kind of sad how it played out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to watch it until...
You don't know the details. Okay, but hey, you don't know the details, so that's good.
I won't go into that.
That'll add a new layer to it when you do see it. But in the meantime, where we are in the journey is season 3, episode 12. Don't ask, don't tell. A reference to Clinton's policy about gays in the military.
Yes.
Dumb. Just who cares?
Yeah, it was weird that's how they can... that they would give an episode like this that title because it had nothing to do with that.
Well, it was don't ask about cheating, don't tell about is honesty the best policy?
Well, there was well, here's the thing though.
Perhaps it was also just a critique of the policy itself.
It might have been because like there was a lot of asking and people telling lies in this episode. So things were asked and people still didn't tell. So there wasn't no don't ask involved because you know what? Let's get into because I want to get into Miranda's story. That's 100% want to get into that because so basically we start out the episode. It is like crunch time for Charlotte's wedding. Like we're like right at the final stretch. The wedding's the next like this week, basically at the end of the week, and so you know things are kind of moving fast. And Miranda realize that she's a bridesmaid without a date.
Now I have to stop it right there. Please. We're 30 seconds into the episode and I have to just bring up something.
Yes.
The general policy that I know of is you don't bring a fucking rando to the wedding, not in the last minute.
Never.
How was Charlotte ever going to be okay with this? Blows my mind. Right out of the water.
But it seemed I don't think that she was necessarily getting her permission. I think she was just gonna
bringing someone.
She was just gonna because like there was never and it was never even implied or anything. Like it just seemed like she was just like I want a date to this wedding and this is what I'm doing and Charlotte can go fuck herself.
Because people get, as I imagine Charlotte would, get very hung up on photos and what photos look like and if you have your date in the photo or not.
Right.
And I don't see, and there's no reason in this scenario why Miranda's date would ever be in like the photos.
Right.
But there are like I've just read a million.
I don't know if it was Steve would have hopped in them photos.
Free food, hell yeah.
Yeah, Steve would have been all over those photos. No, he would have shown up for the free food and he would have hopped in photos even though he knew he don't belong in them. But
so
we're gonna have a baby. Come on, Miranda. We're gonna have a baby.
See, his voice is annoying. There, I said it.
It truly is. I
called it from day one. But no, I've read just a million stories about people who've struggled with bringing the date of someone they've dated for at least a year or several months at the least
Yeah.
And people being like, no, because I don't want anyone random at the wedding, or I don't want them in the photos. And it's like, you can take multiple photos, right? This isn't 1880 where there's one shot with a flash
or
bulb.
The fucking like late 90s where you're motherfucking doing the disposable shit all over the
A professional photographer will do multiple combos.
Also, in a wedding like Charlotte's having, there's a motherfucking professional photographer. So stop it. They can edit that picture out and not any of those. They're like, come on, stop it.
So anyway, Miranda though is desperate for a date for this wedding. And what do you call it? It's going on speed. They call it multi-dating, but it's speed dating.
It's speed dating. Come on.
They didn't have the right name for it at the time, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe speed dating wasn't a thing at this time because this was still 2001, right?
2002, I think we're
2002. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't have a proper name for it yet, but it was definitely speed dating for sure.
Have you ever done speed dating? I did it one time.
I've never done it. I think I had zero success. I feel like in high school, like our school did this like speed dating kind of event, but like it was like but it was like real. It was like kind of like a joking thing or something like that. I don't know. I just have this memory of like I've never done it as an adult. I can tell you that 100% never done it as an adult. But I feel like I did something like that. Like we play like a mock thing in a class or something like that. It was it wasn't like a core class. This is like an elective class, like some bullshit you do right before you're about to graduate because you just need like 2 more credits.
Yeah, that's strange. No, I've never what do you call it? I only did it the one time.
Yeah, how'd it go?
What? Not great. It was
scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 4.
Ooh, that's brutal, baby.
And it was just it was even shorter than the amount of time she's given. It was like 2 minutes with people, which is like nothing.
Oh man, that's nothing. Yeah.
And then did I do it one? No, that was just like a mingling event. So never mind.
Okay.
But you need at least 5, I think, with someone
at least. Yeah, like 5 to 7, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to do 10 minutes. 10 minutes might be too long, especially if it's like
if it's
a lot of people. Yeah. If you got like 50 people on both sides, like 50 men, 50 women, like you might want to keep it going. But like 5 to 7 minutes, that's enough time to at least know for sure if you would go out on a date with said person that you're talking to. So there's that.
So she's struggling though because the first guy we hear her talk to rattles off his whole like impressive resume, blah blah blah, and then she says she's a lawyer, and he's like, and then it keeps happening. Every dude.
First of all, I want to say this though. Guys like, I speak Portuguese, and he spoke it with the whitest accent of all time.
Of course he did.
Obrigado. Like that, you for somebody who speaks it fluently, you put no accent on it. Like, come on, guy, respect the culture. Hate that shit. And which means he probably only knows like 20 words, but he says he speaks it fluently, trying to impress her.
Yeah.
Which is so funny.
And so every guy she tells that she's a lawyer and a partner in the firm and went to Harvard, they're all like,
yeah.
It's too intimidating. And then she decides randomly to tell his name is Clark Gregg, but he is Agent Coulson to you and me from S.H.I.E.L.D., and I will not be told otherwise.
Here's my thing though, like any dude that's like intimidated or upset about a woman that has like a career that's better than his, like get on your own shit, bro. Get on your own shit. Because let me tell you something, any man that's successful and that's like doing this purpose and doing what he's supposed to do doesn't give a fuck about what a woman makes. Because here's the thing, women don't date down 90%. Like there's a few exceptions to the rule, but most women date up. So of course, like you're not gonna see Beyonce date a motherfucker that makes $25,000 a year. It just ain't gonna happen. Like they can't do like her mentally, emotionally couldn't do fuck with that. But men, we could date a motherfucker that makes $0 and build them up. You know what I'm saying? So like, you as a man, if you're intimidated by a woman, that means you need to go work on your own shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or like, don't adjust your dating pool. If you're intimidated by a woman who, like, if you only make $100,000 a year and the women that you're trying to talk to make $150,000, if you're intimidated by that, then don't date women that make $150,000. It's really that simple. But you shouldn't like be upset about it or be like, you know, make it seem like it's her fault or punish women for that. Like, fuck that. That's what, you know, get on your own shit.
But none of that applies here.
Nope.
Because Miranda abruptly decides to say she is a stewardess, and the correct term is in fact flight attendant.
Low key, is that insulting to a flight attendant? Because I feel like they played it up like, you know what I mean?
Well,
no, not the word stewardess, not the word stewardess, but just like her like picking that job as a way to like get a guy.
It is. I think it is insulting to be like, what she considers like a lesser job. I'm like, being a stewardess is really hard fucking work,
and they make good money. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Like, depending on what airline, of course. Like, if you're only flying like little charter flights from like one part of Alaska to the other one, you probably ain't making no money. But like, you work for a pretty decent airline, like a United or some shit like that. They started off pretty damn well. I think they started off at like 55, 60 a year. So that's not bad starting out.
Yeah. I think I think the negative implication from Miranda's point of view, and unfortunately a lot of people's, is like, all they do is push a little drink cart around.
It's a service job.
It's a service job. It's really so much more though.
It is. No, but
they're responsible for like the whole fucking plane in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's into it though. Agent Coulson is like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do this.
Agent Coulson. I mean, Clark Gregg. I was so happy to see him. I actually love him as an actor. He's a really good actor.
He is
very funny. Did you ever watch that show, The New Adventures of Old Christine?
No, but I know he was on it with Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Fantastic show. Yeah, highly underrated show. I think it definitely got canceled before it could really, you know, reach its potential. But it's on HBO Max. So if you want to watch something after we're, you know, Sex in the City, that's a good show to watch. It's only 3 seasons. So. Yeah.
So they're at their rehearsal dinner, and Miranda is complaining about being threatened, and then, you know, which we all kind of agree with is stupid. But then she's like totally down to bring this rando to Charlotte's wedding, and Aidan's like, you guys can like never really date because you like started off on a lie.
Yeah.
And Miranda's like, no, it's just gonna make him look shallow if he doesn't continue to date me for lying. I was like, I think you're crazy. And everybody's kind of like, Miranda, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, it turns out they were both full of shit.
Yeah, that was the funniest part. And
I was putting it together right as it was happening, because so they're dating, they have sex. So, by the way, low key, I kind of like this episode with Miranda's storyline because it was kind of like, again, like it was a role reversal, because usually it's men trying to lie to get into somebody's pants. And this time she was lying to get in somebody's pants.
And she put it on thick. She wore like the scarf around her neck on the date. And on the way, and like she changed the whole way she talked, so everything was a little breathier, and like you know, when you're flying first class, it's just not the same. Like totally changed her whole like
she
vibe.
did.
And it's like, yeah, how long are you gonna maintain that?
Oh my god. I mean, kudos to her. She didn't slouch. She wasn't no bullshit about it. She like made sure she was committed to the lie. But I forgot she did wear the fucking scarf around the neck of the day. And even when she hit him up for the booty call, she was like, "Oh, I just flew in.
I just landed." Yeah.
I loved it. But yeah, it turns out he was also lying.
Yeah, because he said this whole time he was an ER doctor, and then she slices her finger cutting a bagel. By the way, weirdest way to cut a bagel is she's doing it. I've ever seen
why was she doing it
like vertically?
Yeah, who slices a bagel vertically like that? Other than when you put it in like a bagel slicer, that's it.
Yeah, or like you hold the bagel vertically and slice down.
Yes,
but she was holding the knife also vertically.
Yes.
And like going around that way, it made no sense. But she sliced her finger open, and then she's like, "Oh my god, do I need help? Do I need to go to the hospital?" And he's like, "Blood freaks me out."
Yeah, she's like, because I was thinking that too. Like when she first showed him, he was like kind of squeamish. I was like, okay, why is he jumping back? Because if he's an ER doctor, blood should be like not even like you know, like this should. But then I was like, oh shit, he's not what he says he is. Like before they even revealed it, I was like, oh fuck. I knew it was coming, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Also, by the way, actually, now that I think about it, the weird way that she was cutting the bagel makes sense. Think about it. How often is she home to cook?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they make the point of her and the other girls never knowing how to cook.
Right. Yeah, and she's a partner in a pretty, I'm assuming like a pretty well-off law firm in Manhattan. So I mean, she's probably constantly working, which means she's probably constantly ordering takeout or cooking probably like microwave dinners and shit like that. So like
or picking up
bagels probably not something that she does on a regular. Like most times she probably has a bagel. It's probably like when she picks
from
it up
store,
some store. Yeah, absolutely.
And they already do the slicing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though they're gonna charge you $1 for that.
Yeah,
just a slight. Yeah, real talk. This is bagel place in Hollywood. They charge you $1 just to cut the bagel. I was like, damn, what?
God, now
$1?
Bagels. Oh, really bad though right now. Anyway, I saw a bagel.
I know. I would like a sandwich right now.
My office used to do Bagel Thursdays pre-pandemic, and I don't think it's coming back, and I'm really sad.
Yeah,
it was great. Anyway, so he lies though, and he's like a manager at a Foot Locker.
I mean, again,
he doesn't even have, you know what, at least Miranda sort of like did a job kind of on her level in a weird way, if you think about like a flight attendants being kind of like a high profile, like not an easy job, like a lawyer. He really overdid his side of things.
That's not even like it ain't
retail to doctor. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, it's not in the same ballpark. It's not the same sport. It's like not even. It's like completely not even close to what he said he was.
He should have said like sales and acted like a big shot businessman. That would have covered his bases.
If he said he was like a broker, that would have been like maybe a little closer, because like that's like
sales.
You kind of broker deals when you're selling shoes. Yeah. So like they would have been. Yeah,
could have covered his tracks a little better. But then he's like, I just always wanted to have sleep with the stewardess. Guys are so fucking weird. What is this? Why is everything like librarians, teachers, stewardesses? Like, what is your fucking problem?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Therapy.
I can't tell you
nurses. Nurses. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's, you know what, because it's the same thing that I think that women are attracted to. It's the uniform. It's something about a uniform that like turns
a power thing.
It's not necessarily a power thing. It's just that, like, I don't know if it's like not a power thing, but it's just like
authority.
No, it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? Security thing. Like you like, like a nurse is security, you know what I mean? Like they can take care of you if you get hurt or you get sick or some shit like that. And like that's kind of a turn on. Also, that uniform for nurses, it's kind of depending on what kind of body type you have, it's very form-fitting. So it's like,
well, the old school ones. Now they all just wear scrubs.
No, even scrubs. No, scrubs. Trust me, some of the scrubs now are a little like women, like I'm telling you, nurses always try to keep a little bit of sexy in their uniform, like from the old school uniform, even to scrubs now, because some nurses will buy like a size smaller than what they're supposed to, just so it like shows off the curvatures of their body.
Well, fair enough. But Miranda upholds her lie. And says, I hope you're never on a flight of mine. He's like, well, I wouldn't be in first class. And she's like, you wouldn't be, would you? It's so ridiculous.
But again, she was still committed to the bit, because she was even still like dramatic and breathy when she said, she's like, hope you're never on one of my flights. Like,
I mean, congratulations to Miranda to committing to a bit for like 5-6 days. Well done.
Listen, if there's nothing else to give her credit for, she stayed committed all the way through the end of the year.
So ridiculous.
I loved it though. It's so ridiculous, but so great.
And I love that when we'll get into more of the other girls' plot lines, but I like when they're doing the bridesmaid like final fitting dresses, and they're all talking about lies and stuff like that. And Miranda kind of mentions it, and Charlotte's like, what? And Carrie goes, oh yeah, at your wedding, we all have to pretend Miranda's the stewardess. And Charlotte's like, I am not doing that. It's my week. And Miranda's like, you get a day. Sorry, you get like a few days with a wedding.
No, I would give it for a wedding. It's like birthday day. Sorry, fuck that week shit or birthday month shit that people be trying to pull.
Birthday month business.
Kill yourself, okay? If you celebrate a whole month or you expect people to celebrate a whole month with you, go get some help. Like you seriously have some need for attention that is beyond. But like for a wedding, at least a week. You definitely get a week.
Yeah, you get a week.
Definitely get a week. And I say that because like I understand all the energy and time and effort it puts into like having a wedding. That's why I don't think they should be as extravagant as people make them. But that's what you want. I'm not gonna judge. But like, you at least get a week because all those months of planning and trying to make it and it's coming down to the wire, like at least that week leading up to it should have you be relaxed and just no animosity, just like try to keep it as chill as possible.
So that's Miranda and her nonsense, and she ends up bringing Stanford to the wedding, which a part of me was like, are Charlotte and Stanford not close enough to her for her to just invite Stanford to the wedding? But I suppose they're not. They don't actually interact much now. I think because it
seems that really his truest friend, or not truest friend, but like it's Carrie, but like that's either the most person that like every time he shows up, it usually has something to do with her or she's involved in some way. So
and they all know and they like Stanford, but the friendship is it's him and Carrie. So do you want to do Samantha? Hers is brief.
So brief.
We'll just touch on it real quick. Is they're at the rehearsal dinner and Trey's cousin from Scotland is there and he's got a super thick accent and Samantha can barely understand him, but she fucks him anyway.
Yeah, she does.
And then
she does.
By the time it's the wedding, she can kind of translate.
Well, I mean, I guess if you spend a night with somebody and they keep talking, at some point you're gonna
catch on.
By the way, that dude plays a villain in one of the Batman movies. He's in The Dark Knight.
Oh.
Do you remember the beginning of the movie where like no, that's Dark Knight Rises. This is the second one with Heath Ledger.
Oh,
so the beginning there's like a
bus and all that.
Yeah, not the bus. He was in. Okay, so remember after the bus or after the robbery, there's like another scene where like gangsters are meeting up in a parking lot, and then like these fake Batman try to come and break up the party, and then the real Batman shows up. He was one of the gangsters in that. He like sicks the dogs on one of the fake Batman in that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, he's done a lot of work, by the way, just FYI.
Yeah, but it's so funny to see him talk with a Scottish accent, because every time I've seen him in a movie, they always play him like he's like a Russian bad guy, some kind of like Eastern European bad guy. It's like
his character name in The Dark Knight is Chechen, as in like a Chechen.
Yeah.
He's from London. It says we're born in London.
So he's not even Scottish. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah. All the movies I've ever seen him in, he's always playing like some kind of Eastern European bad guy.
Yep.
Well, clearly he does accent work. Clearly he's good at accents, because I was like, oh shit, he's Scottish, but turns out he's not even Scottish. He's not fucking British. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, and they make the joke about the guy, he's gonna wear the kilt, like all the groomsmen at the wedding, and do they wear anything under the kilts? Because I think in Braveheart they had shown like they were naked under the kilts, but let me just double check.
They do. I don't know if it's traditionally though. That's like, to me that doesn't make any sense, because Scotland's cold as shit. Right. So I don't know if you want your berries and cherries just like rolling around in cold ass Scottish weather.
Oh no, apparently, let's see. Wikipedia says true Scotsman is a humorous term used in Scotland for a man wearing a kilt without undergarments. Though the tradition originated in the military, it has entered Scottish lore as a rite, an expression of lighthearted curiosity about the custom, and even a subversive gesture. It is unknown exactly why the practice of wearing undergarments under the kilt began, but many sources indicate it originated with the Scottish military uniform in the 18th century, leading to the invention of such expressions as go regimental, for wearing no underwear, as in go commando, as they say.
I don't know. I feel like
earliest known reference is satirical French illustrations in 1815. So
I feel like they probably started doing that probably when the British were there fucking with them. Yeah, that's where this came from, was the Irish fucking
the two finger.
So that's what this is derivative from this, because what they would do in Scotland or Ireland, the English would cut off these two fingers so they
French.
couldn't
it's
draw.
Actually,
or the French, sorry, the French, yes.
Yeah.
So they couldn't couldn't draw a bow. So this was like, hey, go fuck yourself. Yeah. So I bet you that was probably them not wearing underwear underneath was probably some kind of way to fuck with them like in battle. Yeah. Because when I know it's a movie, but like in Braveheart, that's what they kept doing every time they went to a battle.
They moved the soldiers and everything.
Absolutely. I would totally do that. Fuck the British. I'm kidding. Sorry, Brits.
Nah, fuck them. They're colonizers.
Fuck them. Go eat your fucking plain food with no spices. Even though you fucking ravage countries for spices.
Ravage the world for fucking spices and you never use them. Strangest damn thing I've ever seen. Anywho, so that's Samantha's plot.
That's it.
I mean, other than she gets in a little tiff with Charlotte.
She was like, I don't even want to be a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
She was like, why am I here? I was like, low key. I feel like Samantha really wouldn't really fuck with this. Like, I feel like if she was gonna be there, she was like just doing it just to be like nice.
Yeah, and Charlotte's like, well, I only invited you so you wouldn't be left out.
Yeah,
because they start arguing over at the bridesmaid fitting. They start arguing. Samantha is asking for her dress to get hemmed a little higher, and Charlotte goes, "Can you not have your dress up around your see you next Tuesday?"
And to be honest, I was surprised that she even knew that slang term. To be honest, it seems like it's like so out of her wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
I think Charlotte was not a bridezilla, but she was maybe starting to get at the end of her rope there.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, she was fucking like, she was like, look, I'm sick of this shit. We ain't talking about this shit at fucking Beer Wang right now, and you motherfuckers keep pushing me, because it's kind of been building up, because like the last maybe 3 or 4 episodes, there's always been a topic and she's just like, all right, come on.
Well, and in fairness,
elevate the
and in fairness to Charlotte, she's trying to get this wedding done. Mm-hmm. She's got one friend who's fucking another dude while she's taken and thinking of telling him right now, like days before the wedding, making it all about her.
Of course.
She's got another friend who's lying about being a stewardess, and they're gonna have to lie at her wedding about this friend again, drawing a bit of focus for no real good reason at all. And then she's got another friend who's like trying to slut it up a little too much at the wedding, which like, hey, have a party and a good time, but like,
I'm not mad at Charlotte for that though, because it's like, fam, can you
tone it down for one fucking day?
One day, a few hours, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, and that's not to say like I'm not calling Samantha a slut or nothing.
No,
like
I know. I feel bad.
Nothing like that. But... No. But like, what she's really asking, she's like, can you just like bring down your sexual energy just for one moment? Can you not? Because like, in a sense, she's not really necessarily trying to say like, don't be sexual. She's just like, can you try not to make it about you? Like, this is the wedding dress that I've designed for the bridesmaids. It's not about you. Just get fitted the way it looks, and you can go do whatever you want as soon as the wedding's over.
And to Charlotte's credit, she kind of did the thing that I think is the best option, is they're all in the same color, but it's all different styles that suit them all kind of good. Because I kind of figured Charlotte would be like, everybody's got to have the exact same dress and like the matching paper doll thing. But no, like Carrie's is very Carrie, Miranda's is very Miranda, and Samantha's is very Samantha. And my one friend did that for her wedding, and I thought that was great, because it really truly like there's almost no dress that will ever like universally like look nice on everybody.
Yeah.
You know, the best you can do is like pick a nice color and let everybody kind of do their own thing. And that's like, everybody with my one friends, we were so happy. Like, I had kind of my style of dress on, you know, her cousin had hers. It just didn't work better. Not knocking my other bridesmaids that I've been a bridesmaid for, but I'm just saying it was if I had my druthers, and it happened to in that case. same color, different styles. And in fact, like, I know they were getting hung up on being bridesmaids in their 30s too, which I don't know.
Yeah, but that's kind of this show's
everything
energy. It's like if you're not in a relationship and or married by the time you're 30, you're basically trash island material. Yeah.
Into the sea with you.
Yeah.
You haggard old witch.
Precisely.
Yeah. Although that said, as someone in my 30s who I don't know when I'm going to get married, I'm not 100% sure I'll do bridesmaids because I don't know. Everybody's kind of far flung, and I don't know. I've just never been like, you know what I need to make myself happy on my big day is like 4 or 5 of my friends all wearing the same outfit.
Right.
That's going to be what clinches this.
It's going to really mean this really means it's going to work out. It's going to seal the deal.
This is what's going to really make me happy on my wedding day.
Yep. It's going to last forever just because everybody was uniformed.
Yeah. It's because I mean, some people are psycho and they're like, I want the perfect photo. And it's like, I just don't know what you think is going to happen in your life, but it's not going to be. There's no perfect photo. Yeah. Infamously, my another friend's wedding, I was a bridesmaid in. The groomsman that I was paired with, we went down the aisle and he was there for stuff at the church. He fucking disappeared after that with the suit in tow that they had rented for, the guys. He just was gone. He
didn't come to the reception?
Didn't go to the reception. So all the photos we took outside at the reception area, which was in this kind of nature center thing, is really pretty and everything. We're all paired up and lined up, and there's me as an extra bridesmaid, basically.
Oh wow!
I never did find out what they're just as baffled. It's been years now, but the time it was like no one could figure out why he did what he did.
That's crazy.
And he was barely he barely made it to the wedding in the first place. And then he literally showed up in a rush, much like Carrie actually at Charlotte's ceremony. Yeah, literally maybe less than an hour or so before he was supposed to be there. Got in the suit and everything. And we went, walked down to our respective spots and everything. And then just as quickly as he appeared, he disappeared.
Oh, I feel like that's a cocaine thing. I feel like
I don't know.
Your man was on a bend. He must have been on a bender. You know what I'm saying? Barely, but at least he made the wedding. I guess that's gotta give credit there. But
it was her now husband's friend, and it was someone he thought he was closer with. I guess I don't know. I felt kind of bad because it was just
But he wasn't the best man, right?
No. Thankfully,
that's what matters. That's what matters. That's all that matters. Fucking groomsmen, crazy. It's just like bridesmaids. As long as you're not the maid of honor or the fucking, Yeah.
So but speaking of maids of honor, Carrie is probably the worst maid of honor I've ever seen in my life.
She's the worst human being I've ever seen in my life.
But that's in general. But generally, as a bridesmaid, and especially as a maid of honor, you're kind of supposed to be there with the bride while she's getting ready.
Yes.
And instead she just Carrie got ready at her apartment. So maybe for whatever godforsaken reason they weren't doing things that way. But again, it's so weird because Charlotte is so traditional. I figured she would have roped all 3 of them into be you have to be here in the room with me at where we're getting ready. But I couldn't explain that one because that's generally the traditional route is you're with the bride on the day, you're helping her get ready, you help her get in the gown and everything, and
well, also too, she was also not traditional in the sense of usually the husband and wife aren't supposed to spend the night together the night before the wedding. You're supposed to sleep in separate beds, and her and Trey definitely slept in the same bed.
Yeah, let's
the
get
night
into
before
that.
The wedding.
Oh man, so they're out for the sort of bachelorette party in a way, and they're just having partying, which again, that's probably all you'd want to do as a bachelorette. I don't want dicks or strippers or whatever.
Yeah, that's so whatever.
It's too much.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like if I ever got married, don't take me to a strip club. I hate them as a single man right now. Like no, thank you.
I barely like Magic Mike live. I enjoyed it when I went. It was fun, but I also there's so much thrusting and it's always like right in your face and it's really uncomfortable.
You're just like, hey, whoa, hey.
I didn't ask for this.
Sir. 6 feet. Keep your distance.
Although the funniest part of that show was everybody's obviously a great performer. They're all like legit, really good dancers and everything, acrobat shit. But the funniest part was they pulled a girl from the crowd, and everyone was like, "Oh man, that lucky bitch!" And then they brought her into this like pool thing, and they had like a rain shower thing come down, and I swear to God, you could hear the whole room go, "Oh no, her hair." Because her hair was getting wet, and then she turned out to be like a professional dancer, and everyone's like, "Oh, thank God. Okay, we were real worried that they fucked up her dress and hair just for this bit." Some poor random girl.
Yeah, they couldn't do that. Like somebody would sue like a motherfucker.
The relief everybody felt when we're like, "Oh, she was a plant. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, anytime I've ever been to like a live performance, like a magic show or like a dance show or something like that, and they pull somebody from the audience, it's like they're not pulling random people. Like maybe like a hypnotist, you know what I'm saying? Like he might try to pull a random person.
I was pulled from the audience at the Magic Castle a couple times, and boy, was that my fucking dream come true. What a great day that was. Days. It happened a couple times. One time they put a little top hat and cape on me. I almost died of joy right there.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I was like, like I'm a full-grown adult woman who was like, yeah, they put a little cape and hat on me. But anyway,
that'd be dope.
Charlotte gets wasted again. My favorite Charlotte is wasted Charlotte.
Well, they're talking at the bachelorette party.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could even classify it as that. Really, this was like just a night out, basically. Yeah. But she tells the girls that her and Trey have not slept together yet.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Like at all. And how at this point they've been together at least 6 months or more?
I think so. The wedding's pretty rushed.
Months. Yeah.
But yeah, about 6 months, I'd say.
At least 6 months, maybe a little, maybe more. Let's call it 8 months. Let's say 8.
We'll be generous.
Let's call it 8. We'll be generous to say 8. So if they've been together about 8 months and they have not had sex yet, and in her eyes, she's doing the whole
saving herself
virgin for her husband. She's like, because she's like, you're not like as Carrie goes, you're not a virgin. She's like, but I am in this relationship. It's like, oh, okay, delusion over here.
Okay, crazy lady. Whatever you
You've had a penis inside you, Charlotte. You can't take it back.
Multiple times.
Multiple. You had at least 4 in season 1, okay? You can't take it back.
And the funniest part is she's like, I'm so horny and I want to try things I'd never normally try, like whipped cream. And I was like, last I recall, ma'am, you were doing some crazy shit a couple of years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like how she's like low-key forgot that she was like kind of an underground
certified freak 7 days a week 2 years ago.
Yeah,
from the top, make it drop. That's some wet. Charlotte.
I don't know if it is. None of those men stayed around, so it may not be. Let's not give her too much credit. It may not
be. So she shows up to Trey's drunk.
Yep.
And it's like
again, not traditional, because I feel like if she was gonna have sex with him for the first time, she's doing all this shit, she would want it to be the night of the wedding.
Yeah, if anything,
not drunk.
You feel it'd be the opposite. Maybe that was our big warning sign right there. But
go ahead. Yeah.
She's like, it's technically the day of the wedding. Let's do it.
That's the thing too, is I'm surprised that even Trey was kind of down for it, considering that she was like clearly not. She wasn't like obviously like
she wasn't unconsentable.
Yeah. But I'm just the fact that she was drunk. I'm surprised that he was like still down to even try.
Yeah, because it's sort of weird. When they first show them together, he seems to be initiating. Like she's always turning him down in the beginning of the relationship.
Yes.
And doing quote unquote anything but haha. So yeah, it's sort of strange that he's like on board with this, like all of a sudden for her to like roll up and be like, let's fuck.
Right. I mean, but to be fair, she has made him wait a long time. I mean, like,
yeah,
they have been like, yes, doing a lot of things. I mean, because here's the thing, like, yes, you can be doing everything but sex, but like that just like builds it up to the point where like you just like want to ravage each other. Because I don't know if I could wait 6 months to like have sex with a woman. They're just like, you know, this ain't high school. I can't do it. Like, not as an adult. You know what I'm saying? In high school, that made sense. It's like, oh, we have to get to know each other. But now, like, no. So I could see him being down, but I could also see him like being like, well, why don't we just wait a few more hours until our wedding? You know? So I'm surprised that they end up. Well, I guess they technically didn't have sex because
he doesn't. But he does say "alrighty" then right before they do it, and I laughed really hard.
He did. Alrighty.
He says it at the rehearsal dinner too, and then he said it here, and he goes "alrighty then."
His little wee toast. That was so funny.
Yeah.
He was kind of cute.
I love Trey. I don't care. I think people don't like him as much as I do, but I adore Trey.
It's like corny, but it's like adorable corny. You know what I mean? Because he's not trying to be funny. He's just like dorky. He's just a dork. Yeah, he's just a cute dork. That's what he is. He's an adorable dork, and he's not aware of his dorkiness, which makes it even more endearing because he has no idea he's a big nerd.
But then they go to do it, and they don't really do it. They can't. He can't get it up.
Yep.
So
to which he says, doesn't happen often, but it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen.
Yeah. But then he also says, but it's so nice you're not like super obsessed with sex because it's such a small part of a relationship. And she's kind of like,
see, and that's the wild thing because she's like always, but that's like the contrast of her so much, right? Because like, you know, she makes it seem like she just wants the happy homemaking, like be a wife and like make kids and like, you know, yes, of course, have sex occasionally, but not it's not like a big thing. But then as soon as he said, "Oh, I'm glad you're not really into it," she was like, actually.
Yeah, no, she's ready to get dick down like all the time.
But okay, now do you think that comes from her like being who she is, or the fact that she waited this long? Like she just like horned up, or is she really?
I think it's like like a repressed part of her. Like we've kind of said in other episodes, is she wants to pretend that it isn't a big part of her drive.
Yeah,
she just wants to pretend that she's not like Samantha in a lot of ways,
right.
I think, because she's probably always been told that that's a bad thing to want sex that much and enjoy sex that much, and so she gets all hung up on it. But she really does. Sex is a big thing to her, and she likes really doing it and likes having it, and that's totally normal. But she's been told so long that it's not, that it's all kind of wired wrong in her brain about it. So she puts out this front of being super uptight and super, sex is private and personal and this very special thing. When in reality, she's, as we said, she's like, I'll try it. Will try anything. I want to do like whipped cream play. Like, you know, she's down to get a little wild.
Well, it was funny too, because like, even in that though, like, even though she is like low-key secretly a freak, she does have her limits, because I still laugh at the moment when Samantha was talking about funky jizz and she just got up and left.
She got up and left. That's such a great moment.
Like, didn't say anything.
And she's like, never coming back. It's so funny.
She wanted 0% of any of that conversation.
Yeah.
That's probably still one of the best, like if not the best joke in this entire series. So
one of the best gags
just
of her,
leaving.
For sure.
Yeah, so leaving. But it's so weird that like she was to the point where it clearly is important enough to where she was having doubts about getting married. Like she stopped Carrie literally as she's about to walk down the aisle and was like, "Should I do this?"
Trey can't get it up.
Right. Although I will say this, come on, it's 2002. There's a thing called Viagra. I'm pretty sure your boy can afford Viagra.
He's
and
a
even
doctor.
if he doesn't want to, because I was saying this too when I was watching the episode, and I was like, well, okay, maybe even if he doesn't, like, if it's like pride won't let him take it, I was like, crush that shit up and put it in his drinks. Like, if you want to get dick down, do what you got to do, cuz.
But Carrie reassures her, and then I also like the line that Charlotte is 34 in a $14,000 wedding dress. She's getting married, and I'm like, I'd probably like fucking just roll with it too. Not wanting to be single. Because I mean, conversely, for me, I don't feel like sex is a huge, like, I want it, don't get me wrong, but like, proportionally for other things I want in a relationship, I maybe wouldn't be as heartbroken that.
Well, it's also too, it's like, if you have all, like, if he's
that's just me.
No, I feel you. And like, but my thing is too, is like, if he's in all other areas, like there's greatness, and this is like the one area where like he just can't get it up occasionally, like, just talk to him about it. Just say, look, I want more sex in our life. Like, do you mind taking a pill, or like going to see a therapist, or like, hey, even if you don't want to take like motherfucking Viagra, like there's all kinds of like natural herbs like ginseng and shit like that you could be taking to try to, make it work. So it's not, that can't be the thing that makes you not want to get married. Also too, low-key, you at least had to go through the wedding because it was your decision to wait this long not to have sex. You could have found this out in like month 2 or month 1 if you just not trying to be this like,
I mean, she even
virgin bride
and thinks like, I should have fucked him on the first date. She's like, I should have slept with him right then, and then she might have known. I mean, Samantha says but I think it's true. Like, you gotta take things for a test drive, not just sexually. You gotta live together before you get married.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I don't, I feel like there was a study that said that was bad to do, and I was like, I don't fucking think so, because you need to know, does your partner like fucking not know how to clean anything like a giant child? Are you like a messier person than you realized, and the other person can't put up with it?
Right.
Sleeping in the same bed, is that going to be a problem? Like, do you need 800 alarms versus them, or they sleep through like, there's too many things that if you can destroy things.
We all like individually, especially if you're like a person who lives on your own, like you have your own place or whatever, we all live differently. So when and that's like think about it too. Like, think about every time you have somebody in your space, like a new person in your space, it's always a little bit like, there's a little bit of static there because they don't know how you operate, or they don't know how you like things. And you kind of got to like walk them through, how to operate within your space to make you feel safe and secure and not overwhelmed. And so you do have to live together, because there's no way you're going to know if you can be married if you don't know that a person doesn't like, okay, like a big pet peeve for me is like somebody squeezing the toothpaste from the sides instead of from the bottom. I hate that. But like, you don't learn that until somebody moves in with you and you stay in that intimate space. And it's not the same as like having them come over for a weekend or like a couple of days when you're dating. Like, somebody being in your space 24/7, 7 days, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a totally different way of intimacy. So that, you have to live together. I don't know who came up with like, that's not a good thing, but I think that's insane. I think it's absurd. It's absurd.
Totally is. But Charlotte goes through with it and appears very, very happy at the end. So that's nice.
Is she happy though?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
We got 6 more episodes of the season to find out, don't we?
I know we have 6 more episodes, but my prediction right now, I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think I feel like an annulment's coming in the future, very near future. But hey, call me crazy.
Anyway,
don't call me crazy.
And on to the Maid of Dishonor. Carrie, whatever her middle name is, Bradshaw.
They've said her middle name right before.
I actually don't think they have.
No, I feel like they might have said her name before. Her middle name before. It doesn't matter. So Carrie is still struggling with the big secret that she was having an affair with Big. But she says cheat, but she won't call it an affair. She's still living in her bullshit lies, because that was an affair. It wasn't just cheating. You had a full-out affair. You were meeting up at hotels and arranging meets and stuff like that. That's a full-on affair. Cheating would have been the time y'all fucked at that hotel the first time, and then that was it, and you didn't call them back and like that. But y'all had many meetups. That's an affair. Yeah. So she still didn't tell Aidan the entire story, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like still trying to fight with like if she should tell him or not. And of course Samantha's like, you shouldn't tell him. Like, men have been lying about this for years. Like, I respect what Samantha's saying. Like, again, she's still the best friend. Like, still trying to like, you know, have her back and shit like that. But and also too, I feel like, look, here's my thing when it comes to cheating. I've done it. I'm not proud of it. But here's my thing is like this. The whole confession is still a selfish thing, because were you thinking about that before you made the decision, before you had sex with Big? You weren't thinking about who was getting hurt. You only cared about yourself. You didn't think about Natasha. You didn't think about Aidan.
Yeah.
Neither one of you did, right? Yeah. And Big definitely wasn't thinking about Aidan, because he basically was like, fuck this guy. I don't give a fuck about him at all. So you confessing or feeling guilty about it is kind of bullshit, because clearly you don't care.
Yeah.
And also too, it's like, there's never been yes, there's probably a few occasions where it works out and you confess and your partner's like, oh, I forgive you, and we can like move past it. But like 9 times out of 10, what do you think's gonna happen when you confess that secret? They're gonna fucking walk out of your life, just like Aidan does after she tells him.
That poor puppy dog of a man.
Oh, I felt so bad for him.
Oh my God. And all the lead up. So every time she's about to tell him, she doesn't. And they have this big kind of romantic moment where he's building the wedding gift for Charlotte and Trey.
Yeah. By the way,
if you're going to say, get your ass off that love seat, that's a gift. Yes. That's what I thought too.
I was thinking that too. But what I really wanted to say, maybe it was just me that notices, but like when they were in Aidan's shop and she came and saw him like making the gift, was it me? Was it like some kind of like weird softcore porn music that was playing that was supposed to be romantic?
Music.
Oh my God, you have to go back and watch it. Like the entire scene, I know it's supposed to be romantic music, but it just felt like Skinamax porn music. It was so weird. It didn't feel romantic at all. It was just like super gross.
Well, I think because it was leaning more towards they were gonna hook up, and they do. They have sex that night, and then like she goes out and smokes on his porch, and she's like, "I thought you couldn't date a smoker," and he's like, "Well, that's not all you are, you know." I know this poor sweet cinnamon roll
doesn't deserve him. She fucking doesn't deserve him. He hates smokers, and he was willing to be like, "All right, fuck it. Like, I love this woman. I'll figure out a way to love." Yeah. He's garbage.
So yeah, she goes home to get so she'll be getting ready for the wedding. Again, weirdly alone at her apartment. Can't quite figure out what they're doing there. I think it was all mostly plot mechanics to make all this work, for dramatic purposes. So Aidan shows up in a awful suit. It's big on him, and he is already a big guy.
Gross. He looks like,
and it was a weird shade of brown.
Yes,
I don't know.
It was a weird shade of brown.
Was yellow?
It was too big. It was. You know what it looked like? It looked like. You know what it looked like? It looked like it was a hand-me-down from his older brother, or like his dad, or some shit like that.
Somehow larger brother.
He had a Steve suit on. That's what he had on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked like something Steve would wear. Oh my God, it was so off. It looked like you know what that suit looked like? It looked like when Jim Carrey turns into the mask in The Mask. That's what that suit.
I know, it's so oversized on him.
Oh, so awful. I couldn't get my mind off of it. I was like talking to my friend when she was here. I was like, listen, if you ever see me wear a suit like that, you have every right to break up with me and or not be seen in public with me. That it was a awful suit.
And it's so strange because I know it was like of the time, but I don't know who in their right mind thought.
No, because there were suits in this episode that those guys were wearing during the speed dating that were way more fitting and better looking than that. Like that, Big has worn better suits than that. Even in season 1, he had better suits than that.
Yeah. Because
that looked like some shit straight from 1992, like Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, like he's got like a suit from the 80s. This is so random, but there's an episode of there's like a Ray Bradbury TV series from the 80s, And there was an episode with Jeff Goldblum in it. And it's a really good little story and everything like that. But I was completely distracted because Jeff Goldblum is in the whitest suit I've ever seen. He is a tall guy and a narrow guy, and that added easily like 4 inches on either side of him. It was
thank you for bringing that up.
Craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The shoulders in Aiden's suits were it was comically awful. I was like, did they stick a fucking hanger rod in between his fucking shoulder blades to like make it? I was like, you know what? To be honest with you, I think him showing up in that suit made Carrie want to confess.
She's like,
I gotta get rid of him. I gotta get.
He can't come to the wedding like this. Look at him. Look at him.
I would have. Here's the thing. Even if I wasn't confessing about cheating to him, I would have been like, "You can't come. You can't. You can't." Sorry, I love your rugged man list, and I know you fucking chop up wood and make, but like, no, sir, no.
No, well, I need him to cut that hair, which is neither here nor there, but
it didn't pop. You know what? His whole ensemble, it just did not work at all. Hair from head to toe didn't work.
So
it just did not work. Oh my God. That's probably, I'm telling you, that's what brought the confession on. Because
she was like, oof.
That ugly brown suit. Like, what the fuck?
Because I've seen
you work with wood.
I've seen a good brown suit, actually. You know, it can look, I'm not partial to it, but I've seen, like, there was actually the one guy host on our show that I work on. He was in a brown suit on one of our episodes recently, and it fitted him, first of all, because we had wardrobe people.
Yeah.
And again, not my first choice of color for a suit for a guy, but he still looked good in it. It was like, oh, that's nice, you know.
I just never been a fan of brown as a suit color.
I don't really.
It's just not a great color.
It's not a great color, but this was like not whatever mud brown crap Aidan was wearing. Poor Aidan on like so many fronts. He's in this awful suit. And then Carrie comes out and says, I slept with my ex-boyfriend, that guy you met. And also I need to point out again that she's already supposed to be at the church and she's 10 minutes late. God damn it, Carrie. And so then she just he's like, oh, but she looks so cute, hot in your bridesmaid dress. And he's trying to flirt with her, and then she keeps pulling away. He's like, you kind of have been doing that. And then she's like, I slept with my ex-boyfriend.
Again, also still being the worst on 2 reasons. One, she's late, and 2, fucking Charlotte asked her to wait till after the wedding. She's like, tell him after the wedding.
Specifically asked her to wait after the wedding.
Couldn't. She's already late for the wedding, and then she did it right before the wedding, which is like awful. I mean, she held her shit together, to be honest, but
she like Miranda knows, and we'll get to that in a sec. But I mean, if you think about it, now the whole like reception, you know, Charlotte's gonna be busy with a lot of like greeting and dancing and all that fun stuff and whatnot. But it's also, there's gonna be this slight pall over everything, knowing that her friend is moping and sad in a corner, probably.
Right.
Unless Carrie really just fucking cranks it and turns it on the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's Carrie's style.
You know, honestly, though, she kind of got away with it because, in a sense, so Aidan does show up he leaves after she tells him. He says he has to go on a walk.
You can watch it. You can time when his heart breaks on screen. It's so sad.
100%.
Oh, my God.
100%.
Oh, this puppy dog, man. Oh, my God. This poor golden retriever.
I'm telling you, I'd have came back with a motherfucking crowbar and just ripped her floors apart. I'm taking my wood back, bitch.
You broke my heart, I break your floors. You broke my heart, break your floors.
I'd come back. I mean, listen, it probably would have been an improvement of that suit if he got it a little dirty. I'm just saying, that suit was awful. It was mahogany. Who has a mahogany suit? That's awful.
That is mahogany.
It's awful. It was mahogany. That was the brown that it was. It was like a mahogany brown. Yeah. Gross. Anyway, but you can see his heartbreak as soon as when she first told him, he was in shock. Like, all right,
he's like, what?
Like, nah, is this a prank? What do you like? You just don't want me to come to the wedding? Is my suit that bad? Yes, it is. But but yeah, you can see his heartbreak, and the poor guy. And he goes for a walk, but he does show up to the wedding. Well, after the wedding, and he comes to basically break up with Carrie. But she kind of holds it together. She cries, but she kind of holds it together. But I was also thinking, like, even when the pictures, even though she was like crying right before she takes the picture at the end, you can still kind of like forgive her because, you know, she could be crying for happiness that her friend got married. She could be.
I teared up at a couple of the weddings I was in. I won't lie.
Yeah, you'd be happy.
I was so happy for everybody.
It wasn't entirely fucked up, but Jesus, yeah.
I accidentally made eye contact with like my mom and then my brother at his wedding, and then like he accidentally looked at us, and then like it was like, oh fuck, like everyone was like, fuck, why do we all make eye contact? The fuck are we doing?
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
As far as the Aidan and Carrie situation. So it was selfish of her to tell him right before the wedding. However, in a way, was it kind of the right thing to do? Because think about if he'd have went to the wedding and taken all the pictures, and then she told him later and they broke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too, because Charlotte would have, you know, probably kept most of the pictures that were taken at the wedding, and he would have been in all of them, even though that. And to be fair, she also kind of did Charlotte a favor by telling him not being there, because can you imagine that suit and all her fucking pictures? Oh
my God, Charlotte would die.
Charlotte would kill him. She would murder him. I think that would send her into the absolute rage.
And Photoshop wasn't what it was now, so you couldn't even like change the color in post, you know?
No.
Change it to like a charcoal gray or something and call it a day.
But Elizabeth, even if Photoshop was a thing like it is now and then, it wouldn't have made it any better. Like no color for that suit would have made it better. No. Like the whole structure would have had to
even
be
if
changed.
You like, yeah, like if you change it to gray, it's still a giant suit. It looks awful.
I can't believe they let this man, like poor John Corbett, that he has to be.
He is a tall, good-looking guy, and they put him in this ridiculous outfit.
He must have pissed off a costume designer or something.
Unbelievable.
He must have been a dick one day. He must have like slept with a costume designer or something. I don't know.
I mean, on the flip side, though, if you look at it from Aidan's point of view, if he's of this mindset, hey, he didn't have to sit through a whole wedding. Now, did he? Bonus for him.
Yeah.
So
also
it was almost nice that Carrie released him before the wedding.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Maybe I mean, clearly that wasn't her intention, but it kind of you know, there's like you got to find a silver lining in all the bad situations. And that was kind of the silver lining. It was that you know he didn't show up in any of those pictures because, sir, that suit was not it. Nope. I don't know why they did that to that poor man.
I know. So strange. But,
so now I guess I can ask you this. Do we see him again?
Yes.
Yay! Okay. Don't tell me how it went.
There's more. I actually don't remember. I've seen like all these episodes a million times, and I was watching this one. I was like, I know this is where they break up because she cheated, but I will be damned, I cannot remember how they get back together. So I'm excited to find out. Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have no idea. What do you call it? So that'll be, and I think partially it's because they get aired sort of so out of order on TV all the time that I catch them at different points. So I never know where I'm at in the season. And then I'm like, wait, what's happening? Oh, you know, I lose my mind. So it's all good though.
Yeah. That's wild.
But yeah, that's this, and this is our last episode of the year. This will be coming out on December 27th, 2021.
Yes.
Will be the premiere. And then we're gonna take a couple weeks off post holiday as well. We worked so hard for you. We worked for the holiday. Wink, wink.
Yeah, we did.
But what a year it's been. We've been doing this podcast for a year. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Year and change.
Yeah. I do. I don't know. When I saw it on Facebook, I was just like, what? We've been doing this a year? It felt like maybe 6 months, but I guess, you know, we did take we took a couple breaks during the year and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
we have been a few breaks here and there.
Yeah, during the holidays and stuff like that. Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Well,
but thank you all for listening.
yeah, 1 year to you guys listening, and you know the people that have been looking at the episodes and watching them, especially now more recently, like our last 5 or so episodes have been over 100, 200, 300, stuff like that. So thank you guys for supporting us. I'm glad that we're bringing some kind of entertainment to you guys. I'm glad you fuck with us a little bit. I don't know if it's for the Sex and the City or for the us, but either way, keep watching.
Either way, we enjoy it. Yeah. And before we go, Chris, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on everything possible at Mack Diddy Combs, MackDiddyCombs.
You can find me on most places at Elizabeth Movies, all lowercase. You can find us, the show, at Show Me What Pod. I think, Show Up Podcast. Yes. Sorry, on Instagram. And that'll take you every which way. And as always, buy some Arlo Australia candles.
Boop, boop.
Promo code Show Me Miss. You'll save some 10%. Makes a good New Year's gift for yourself.
Or Christmas if you haven't done that yet, because I know some of us have been slacking.
This is coming out after Christmas.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna leave this in just because it's funny.
Whatever, guys.
But if you are like my dad and you were behind 1 year, you can claim that you will give the gift on January 6th, which is Epiphany in the Catholic calendar, and you are still within the 12 days of Christmas as it happens. So
Okay.
There you go.
Did not know that. Good to know. Cool.
Bit of a stretch, but whatever works.
It's a stretch, but you know what? I mean, there's always a catch to everything.
Isn't there always a loophole in every
religion? There's always a loophole. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Anywho. So
anyways, Happy New Year, guys.
Yes, Happy New Year.
We'll see you in 2022. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be better than 2021. Knocking on the wood, and take care of you guys. Take care of yourselves. Don't get COVID and shit.
Stay safe, stay healthy, but have some fun.
Drink some eggnog and some ham, but don't drink the ham.
Not together. Jesus.
Yeah, don't do that.
Horrible combo.
Awful. Sorry, I don't even know why I put that out there. Sorry.
Have some champagne and ham. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking about it.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take it back. All right.
See you guys next year.